So Black Sails, Season 4, Episode 4, we're coming to the climactic end of the series. We're almost halfway done it. And this episode was okay. Yeah, it's not the best episode we've seen this season or ever. It's still a great episode. It's still a well-produced episode. The production is off the charts. But sometimes it just felt flat. It didn't feel like it would live up to the expectations I was hoping from this episode. And we had a lot going on in this episode at the same time. This is not a filler episode. Sometimes it felt like that with certain characters and stuff like that. So let's go into some of the things I really liked. Like I've said last week, and I keep saying, Max is really a character I'm on board with. She's really come into her own as this different character than what we've seen before of her in like seasons 2 and 3. She's coming back to like that season 1 feel where she's making her way up again. She's becoming this really important character, and that's exciting because I think Max is a really intriguing character and we need to see more done with her. And the way she handles herself in front of all these different people is really impressive. It's really interesting to see, and I'm excited to see her maybe become the new ruler of Nassau. Like, I'm getting that vibe. We are going to see the end of the pirates, and I'm not really happy about that, but it makes sense for the story. Another character who just blown me away in this episode, she blew me away, and that's Anne Bonny. We haven't seen her do a lot in this series, in this season so far, and I think we were leading up for a big moment with her, and we got it in this episode. When she is fighting Mr. Milton in the ship, it was some of the most brutal and intense scenes from this episode. I loved every second of it. I've been waiting for Anne to have her big moment and do something impressive. And when she's taking on Milton, and you see him take on some of their strongest people, Mr. Carver, some of these other guys, and then Jack's just like, don't do this, Anne. Get up, keep fighting. And she grabs the broken glass in her hands and it's shattered, and she gets hit with the hammer in the chest. There's so much of her, and she's just still going on, and she just stabs him and gets everybody up. It was a big moment. It was an impressive moment. Do they get the ship back? We don't know. I'm expecting that they do get the ship back, and we're going to see where that goes from here. It's really good to see Anne have this big moment, see that maybe these people are going to follow her instead of Jack because Jack just let them die. And what I like about Jack is that we don't see him become this big pirate captain. Because we're all expecting Jack to be like this super good guy who everyone's going to follow, be this ruler, but he's not. He's calculated, he's not a real pirate. He's got this thing about him where nobody's going to follow him because he doesn't know how to he thinks too much. And he's a little squirmy, little wormy looking guy. That's not a pirate. Blackbeard's a pirate, Anne is a pirate, Jack's not a pirate, and you don't follow somebody into battle that's not a pirate. And that's really intriguing. Jack really stood back this episode, and that's okay, because I want to see Jack build up to something great, his final send-off, if you will. And I think Anne is going to be the new captain of the ship. We're not going to see Rackham. He's going to step back a little. That's okay. It was really nice to see that whole fight with all these guys and Mr. Milton. I thought that was really well done. And I'm impressed with what I'm seeing from Captain Rogers, Wood Rogers. I don't like the character. I don't like his storyline. But it's nice that we're getting both sides of the war between the pirates and the people that occupy Nassau at the time. It really helps you get this bigger scale, everything you're seeing. And yes, we get that with Eleanor too, but the thing with Eleanor is we're not seeing her do anything. She's just talking, she's just complaining, she's just being annoying. And she's just a settler. She just settles for everything, and she's doing these things that don't really help. And that's okay, I guess, but I want to see more done with her. And I haven't liked the character of Eleanor in so long. I just want to like her again because this is our final season. Don't make me hate your characters. So speaking of that, we have this big reveal in the episode that Eleanor is pregnant. And you can say what you will about the final seasons of shows, but I think something they all have in common, I'm not going to call it a cliche because it's a really good evolution of a character, is when one of the main characters becomes pregnant in your final series, so they have to go off and become a parent. Or, a couple gets married, something like that. I think it really works for a final season of a series because that's the character evolving. They're becoming a mother now, or they're becoming a father. They're becoming these new things. And it makes sense for a character to go like that because that's the next step. It's why things happen, because they have to continue on their story. And so we're going to see Eleanor be a mother now. That makes sense to me. I'm completely okay with that. but it also makes me think that we're not going to see Eleanor die this season, which I kind of would like to see her die. But if she's not dead, yeah, I get it. She's a mother. That's cool. It did not surprise me to be Eleanor. I was thinking, well, could they have been anybody else? Maybe it could have been Anne. Maybe it could have been Maddie and Silver. But Silver's going to be the last Pirate King, so that's why I expected it to be Eleanor. Which is cool. It's an interesting story plot point. I don't know if Wood Rogers knows yet. We're going to find out. And Eleanor's relationship with her, like, I think, like a hair maiden or something, that's really intriguing. That character is kind of interesting. I feel like there's something going on with her, because she just kind of was thrown into here. And we got a new character reveal, too, of somebody who is leading, like, a third army against, the pirates and the occupied people of Nassau. That's Julius. I don't know anything about this character. He's, like, the slave community leader now. He's taken up. He's going to kill everybody. That seems intriguing. I like that we got a third party in here now. It's going to make for things to be bigger and badder when we come to the finale. I hope we learn more about Julius. He's a nice character just to meet now. He didn't say a word on screen. We heard people talking about him, and that's really interesting. All the slave communities in the show are really grasping my attention really well, because I want to see more with them. I want to see what happens with these people, with these characters. But a lot of it just felt like filler. And then we got the last kind of story to fill this out, and we're getting this rising tension between Billy Bones, John Silver, and Captain Flint. And I think this is some of the best storytelling they've done this season, is that we have Flint and Silver who are friends. They're doing this together. But at the same time, we have Billy Bones and John Silver who are doing this together. Everyone's against one another. I think that's really interesting. They're all going to try to be this next big figure, even though Billy set it up to be Silver. Flint wants to still be in charge over Silver. Billy thinks he can lead now, and Silver knows that he's going to fill the void once these two guys are gone. It's really intriguing, really great storytelling to see Israel Hands talking to Flint like, he'll leave you like Blackbeard left me. You're not going to fill his shoes anymore. You're not going to be this guy he needs. It's really nice to see the tension building between these guys not being friends anymore. And the whole scene where they're on the beach and Silver's asking Flint, would you give this whole world up to see Thomas again? And he doesn't answer the question. You know something is going to happen there. It's really, really intriguing. Is Thomas alive? It's possible, because they kind of alluded at it. But is he still alive? And he just goes, he's not. There's so much that we can see in this. This was a really interesting episode. Not one of their best episodes, but I still think it was really well done, and I'm excited to see where the story goes from here. So that'll do it for me, guys. This again, watch this episode. But yeah, good luck.